Hello there. How are you? I am Helen Sattler, your Destiny Helper. So glad to be with you once again. Once again, thank you for the email. I have a barrage of emails, and I am encouraged that you are encouraged and strengthened from all the videos. Please access the videos, strengthen yourself every day, like and share them with others, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate you so very much. Once again, I'm here to answer your questions concerning narcissism and what to do about it. The question of the day is, why does the narcissist, now that he discarded me, why does he seem to have such success and happiness? Well, it is easy to think that way. It's easy to think that the narcissist is having happiness and he's having a good time with the new supply. The new supply has been love bombed. If you recall your time with the narcissist, he love bombed you, she love bombed you, and during the love bombing stage, everything was beautiful and you thought that that was the one. You thought that you would marry them, and some of you did. They married you, and some of you even had a family. But your testament with the relationship with the narcissist, that it was horrendous. They produced pain, they lied, nothing was ever secure, and you were the new supply, and the person that was the previous supply thought that you and the narcissist was so happy. But if you could tell the story, you were miserable. The pain that you endured was horrific, and you hated the day that you got into the relationship, but you couldn't let go. You couldn't let them go. You had to hold them. You loved them, and you kept trying to make it better. No matter what happened, you kept trying to make it better. You kept telling yourself they would change. You kept telling yourself it would change, and it never did. And as long as you was with the narcissist, you was with the pain, you was with the struggle, you was with the fear, you was with the confusion. You dreamed every day of how you can get out. And then when the door opened for you to get out, it was hard to leave. How is it that now he's discarded me, or I escaped, and I look back and he seemed happier without me? They seem happy. He has a family. He's married again, or he's with the new supply. And she seemed to do what I always wanted to do, but never could do. The whole scenery of the new relationship is a mirage, because the narcissists have certain traits that makes him a narcissist. And that's why NPD has been diagnosed, or you found out that you was with a narcissist, and his character was the same, his attitude was the same. The new supply is no different than what you were. The new supply goes through everything that you went through. And the thing about the new supply is, now the new supply has you in their relationship, because he brought you over into their relationship. And like the narcissists have a tendency, the last supply that they say they hate is what the new supply keep hearing conversations about. If you recall, he talked about how he couldn't stand the former supply, or the former wife, and everything she did wrong. But he talked about her. She talked about the husband. She talked about the boyfriend all the time. Well, now the new supply is hearing your name. Now the new supply is hearing all the things they didn't like about you, because the one thing that the narcissist is sure to do is to create a smear campaign and to smear your name maliciously, because the narcissist cannot stand the fact that you are free. They left you, they discarded you, and if you don't go down the drain right away, if you're not miserable, or you have not just fallen apart, the narcissist usually can't stand that, or they plan to come back. So they build a forum for their comeback. And you seem happy to the former supply. Your relationship seemed great to this former supply, and you seem to meet all the needs of the narcissist to the former supply. Now you're the former supply, and everything looks so grandiose to them, to you, and it seemed like he's happy. The narcissist has a pattern, and this pattern is what they keep. And when they keep this pattern and they do this pattern, it doesn't mean that they're happy. It doesn't mean that they're happy at all. It just means that the narcissist has discarded you and is no longer with you, and you are no longer with them. But they are not happy. They have this gaping hole that they can't fill. They cannot love the new supply, and they never will love the new supply. It doesn't matter what the new supply does. It doesn't matter what the new supply give them. They will never satisfy or complete the narcissist. There is no completion or satisfying a narcissist. You can't do it because there's this black hole that is in them. And the more you do, the more you need to do. The more you love them, the more pain they're going to create. And the more you give them, the more they're going to want. So the question is, why does the new supply seem so happy and the narcissist seems so fulfilled? Because it's the new supply. But look at all the things, the gaslighting, the devaluation, the lying, the triangulation, the torment, the deception, the constantly accusing, and the devastation of what you went through is usually the same pattern that everyone else is entitled to from the narcissist, because the narcissist is very predictable, even though they change, and from the new supply they mirror. And so when you got the narcissist, he had mirrored from the previous supply, and now someone else has the narcissist, he's mirroring what he had from you. They are experiencing you, how you were, what you did with the narcissist. The narcissist learned from you. He learned, or she learned, how to love based on what you gave them. So the new supply only get what the previous supply has given them, because that's what they take with them, what they got from the previous one. And they mirror, they change, they conform into that. And once the supply, the new supply, conform into the old mold, which the narcissist has now become, the narcissist gets disgruntled and start to devaluate. And once the narcissist start to devaluate, the new supply becomes the old supply, and the process start all over again. You can't be happy when you can't love. Love is very powerful. The Bible said the love covers a multitude of sin. So if love covers it, what is the opposite of love? It exposes it. It exposes all of your wrong, all of your shortcomings. So that's why the narcissist constantly reminds you of what you can't do, what you didn't do, what you need to do. It is a failure, heightened exposure in the relationship. They always show you where you come short. They always show you what you didn't give them. And when you said you did, they always show you where you could do better, where you can give them more. Even when you have given out, you're drained, there's nothing else to give, you've lost yourself, you don't know who you are, the narcissist insists on that breath that you still have until there's no breath left in you, there's no energy left in you, there's no hope left in you. You question who you are, you wonder who you are, you look in the mirror, makeup can't fix it, no amount of encouragement can fix it, because the narcissists have convinced you to believe him, to believe her. That same person that's with the new supply is still empty. They still have holes all in their life that is not fulfilled, and they will never, ever be fulfilled. Love is powerful. It completes you, it finishes you, it molds you, it brings out the best of you. And that's not going to happen with the new supply, because soon the new supply will become the used supply, and the used supply get recognized as old supply. And because the narcissist has a shortened attention span, and they need to be entertained on a constant basis. They need to be thrilled on a constant basis. They get bored very, very easily. Then there is no happiness. Happiness is based on an event, and the event has to constantly change based on the needs of the narcissist. And the needs of the narcissist are always great. They are never finished. This portrait never gets painted to the completion. They never finish the portrait. So it doesn't matter how, where, and who the supply is. She will endure the pain of what she's connected to. And she will soon, or he will soon, discover that the narcissist is a one-way road, and the road has a roadblock. It leads to nowhere. And before you know it, the curve in the road has U-turned you back to where you started. And you keep recycling, you keep going through the same place, you keep seeing the same markers, you keep promising yourself it'll get better, and it doesn't. Does that seem like happiness? Does it seem like completion? And if you have had children by the narcissist, then you know that's not enough. Why does he seem happy with the new supply? Because the fantasy in their mind is to build an unreal world. And even the narcissists want to forget reality. So they create mirages to live in. And whoever is with them at the time becomes the main character. But the one thing about this film, it ends all the same. Escape or discard. No, they are not happy. It's the same pattern that you are familiar with. Enjoy your freedom. Stay in C. Grow yourself. And the more you stay in C, the more the fog leaves. Rediscover who you are, your authentic, beautiful self. He can't be happy, but you can. I'm Helen Statler, your Destiny Helper. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, and share the page. I will see you on the next video.